Hey, it's the Empire. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon for more videos. We taking over. Let's go, champ. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's go. Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, Boxer Boxing. Now, man, you guys heard the audio, man. Gary Russell Jr. said, man, listen, I'll take the money you offer Kell Brook. And that money was $1.5 million. Now, this is a really big deal, man. Terrence Crawford, man, former undisputed 140 champion, right? Current WBO champion right now is this running boxing right now. He's running boxing. A lot of people consider him pound for pound number one fighter, and at this point in his career, his opposition is looking few and far between, to the point where, you know, he's gonna have to go into foreign lands to fight a Kell Brook, and the money's looking real funky right now. Why is the money looking real funky? Because of COVID-19, man. COVID-19's got these live gates that Bob Arum bases his portfolio around, right? When he makes a lot of these events, Bob Arum is really big on pay-per-view, and he's really big on live venues. He's big on both those things. And that being said, you know, this is going to be a really big deal on how much money Kell Brook can get offered by Terrence Bud Crawford. But that's beside the point. The point is, my boy Gary Russell Jr., he's like, man, listen, I can take the fight right now, man. I don't care how much money you offer me. This is personal. You know, you saying you going around talking about you'll break my neck and all this stuff, man. It's not about the money. What's up? Let's get it. Let's fight. And if you guys didn't know, man, Gary Russell Jr. is the longest reigning champion in boxing right now. He had the WBC title for an extremely long time. How long? The guy had the belt for about 5 years now. You know, 5 years. So that's a really big deal. And the thing is, you know, the guy has no slowing down. He's been walking through most of his opponents, and you know, he wants to be great. He wants to dare to be great. He wants to pull an Amir Khan. He wants to pull off a Kell Brook. He wants to go up and wait and fight the best of the best. And understand that Gary Russell Jr. and Terrence Crawford have history together, right? They have history. They fought in amateurs together, and they're fighting against elite level opposition, right? And during those times, Gary Russell Jr. was that guy. He was the man. He was the guy that everyone wanted to be. He was the guy that everyone wanted to watch because he's exciting. The guy has special effects. He's extremely quick, extremely fun to watch. And you know, the thing is, we're gonna see how this whole thing plays out with Terrence Crawford and Gary Russell Jr. I think it's a good fight. You know, there's something about fighting someone that's personal that makes it more exciting. Some people, the boxing, understand this. Boxing's more about theatrics and getting people interested in the fight than the fight itself sometimes. Because, yes, you know, a lot of people may not think this fight is competitive just because of weight disadvantage. But if you actually look at the skill, you know, this fight is extremely high competitive, especially because Gary Russell Jr. has been sparring Terrence Crawford for so many years, especially in amateurs. So this fight's gonna be a really big fight, man. I'll be really excited to see this fight. You know, Gary Russell says he'll take 1.5 mil, so this is an easy come up for Terrence Crawford. You know, it's like fighting a bum. You know, there's a lot of times Terrence Crawford or any elite level fighter, they take a soft touch. This can be Terrence Crawford's soft touch, man. This can be a soft touch, and this will be a fight that people will be interested in, and people are not going to be clowning Terrence Crawford for it. You know, I'll give Terrence Crawford all the credit in the world if he beats Gary Russell Jr. You know, no one's gonna take credit away from him. This isn't, you know, it's crazy because in boxing it's becoming more and more the norm for fighters to skip weight classes to fight these bigger fighters, right? So, you know, think of Grillo Rigondeaux versus Lomachenko. You know, he hopped 2 weight classes to fight Lomachenko, and you know, Lomachenko was given the credit he deserved. He beat Rigondeaux. He said, "Yeah, I'd be a smart fighter, but you know, I got the job done," and you know, and that was that. And to this day, Lomachenko's biggest win is Grillo Rigondeaux. It's just facts. You know, he beat fighters his own weight and everything, like Jose Pedraza and Jorge Linares and things like that. But the biggest hype was definitely the backstory between Rigondeaux and Lomachenko. So we really want to see these fights be made, man. I'd be excited to see this fight. I'd actually be more excited to see Gary Russell Jr. versus Terrence Crawford, because I know that's going to be an action-packed fight for however long it lasts, than Kell Brook versus Terrence Crawford. While Kell Brook's a great fighter, he's been in too many wars, you know. I would like to see Kell Brook beat at least one elite level opponent before he gets to the ring with someone like Terrence Crawford. I want to know that I'm getting a good fight with Kell Brook. Gary Russell Jr. has no injuries to the face or anything like that. The worst you could say is, you know, he has brittle hands. That's about it. I guess he has some hand injuries sometimes, but it hasn't been to the point where he's in the middle of a fight and he hits someone and he stopped using one hand. It's never been that bad. So that being said, man, we're going to see how this whole thing plays out, man. I'm really, really excited to see this fight. You know, Gary Russell Jr. said he'll take that 1.5 milli, throw it my way, I'll take the fight. And this definitely can both raise both their stock, because they got a lot of history, a lot of people that Gary Russell Jr. knows, Terrence Crawford knows, and there's just a lot of mutual friends that to make this fight really personal. Anyway, man, let me know how you guys feel about that. I thought it was really interesting stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire, Geobiotic Empire. Peace. Geobiotic.